So if you ever see somebody like standing at a restaurant, maybe at the bar going, I find the caviar to be excellent at this establishment. They're making that up. Caviar is the worst. It's awful. They're just pretending to like caviar because it's cool or
they think it's cool,
ritzy or something. There's lots of foods like that people just pretend to like because it's hip or cool or something. Yeah. They're not really enjoying them, and we're going to find out about them next because John and Nancy are still talking. So have you ever had someone get really excited like about a trendy food that's out there? And you got to try this. It's so good. And then you taste it and it's awful.
Yeah.
And you're like, how can you be eating this? You don't really like this. You're just eating it because it's cool.
Well, it doesn't even have to be trendy. It can just be like, it can be regular food that they're getting really excited about. And I'm like, that doesn't sound very good. But so it's not necessarily trendy. It's just like regular food that people have convinced others that they should be eating.
I tried kale. Correct. Now, I'm not saying that it was awful.
No, it was awful.
I tried it, and I didn't, throw up. But I went, what? Why are you eating this? It's not pleasant. It's just not a good food. But, boy.
People push they're the kale pushers.
They were pushing kale all day long on that stuff. What are some others that are that way that people just pretend to like?
Well, so there's a link on Reddit. It says, what food, drink are you convinced people are pretending to like? And the first thing that comes up, and again, it's not some trendy caviar or anything like that. They're like, I am almost certain people only pretend to like the sweet potato version of all potato dishes.
Correct. That's
because it's supposed to be better for you. So we're gonna dive into the sweet potatoes.
I'm sorry if you like sweet potato French fries better than regular fries. You're lying.
But
you're just lying.
But I actually buy the sweet potatoes on occasion because I think they're better than me, and I have a friend who eats healthy. It's like, sweet potatoes. So I'm like, okay, I'll try the sweet potatoes.
You're lying to yourself. Get regular fries. Okay, now I'm going to put one out there that's going to be kind of polarizing, and people may not agree with this, but I'm going to say it up front.
Do it.
Mushrooms taste like dirt. Moldy dirt.
You don't like mushrooms?
No.
You don't like mushrooms in butter with garlic, salt, pepper.
Now you're getting up into adding so much flavor to something that doesn't have good flavor.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay, so first of all,
I have known you for over 25 years, and I did not know that you were
not
a fan of mushrooms.
I'm not big on the texture of mushrooms anyway.
Really, I love
and I
mushrooms.
just don't think they taste good at all. And I think you're lying to yourself because other people tell you it's the same thing with people who like beets.
Hate beets.
Okay, I'm telling you this right now. If you're a beet person, go sit over there with your mushroom-loving friends because you're all the same.
Interesting. Well, this is a food that divides people. You either hate this or you love it.
Yeah.
Olives.
Correct. I'm not an olive guy.
You're not an olive guy, too. Okay. I will eat olives. Bruce will not have any olives. So even if I want to cook something with olives in it, I can't do it.
Where do you come down on oysters?
No. Although I did I was in Destin.
No.
Actually, I was in Destin, and we had come back from the little tiki hut booze cruise. So someone ordered some oysters, but they were like loaded with cheese and blah, 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 blah. And so I ate an oyster. I'm like, well, that wasn't so bad. And then my friend was like, that's not a real oyster.
I mean oysters on the half shell where you're just slurping down
I actually will not even try them because the texture grosses me out.
Essentially, it's a loogie.
Correct.
There.
See, I don't know. Do they even have a taste?
Loogie.
Have you tried an oyster?
Yeah, sure. And I'm not a fan.
So what do they taste like?
I mean, it's
salty.
A little bit. I don't know. They're kind of bland, to tell you the truth. That's what I mean. People pretend to like them because they're cool. It's kind of like, and you're going to get mad at me for this one too.
What?
My other wife would be really angry at me for this
that?
one. Sushi. Not
I
a fan.
Sushi.
I'm not a fan.
I'll eat some sushi. I won't eat others. I'm on the fence about that.
I've just always been from the cook your fish category.
Yeah. What about this one? Because this one is a love or hate too. Cottage cheese.
I'm fine with cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese is very high in protein. So I always have, again, this idea that, I should be eating cottage cheese. I have never, in my many, many years of life, taken a spoonful of cottage cheese and put it in my mouth. I've never really eaten cottage cheese.
Just flat out?
But because the texture seems gross to me.
How about licorice, black licorice?
No, I love black licorice.
Like black licorice?
Now, that's on this Reddit list, too. This talks about drinks, too. Like, it says gin.
I'm not a big
gin
person.
The whole phase of everyone loving gin was ridiculous. It says here. Now, I will tell you that I was in college.
High-end gin is pretty good.
I was in college, and I really didn't know what gin was. And I took a shot
I bet
of
that
gin.
was a good night.
I was like, this is the most awful. Now, but I like a gin and tonic now, but I did a shot of gin, and that is completely 100% different.
High-end gin is okay to sip on. You know what I mean? It's not my thing, but it's not awful.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna. We're just having a brief conversation on the podcast today about foods that people don't really like. You don't like these things. You're just pretending to like them.
Or someone's convinced you that you should like them.
You don't.
You should like this.
Nobody likes Brussels sprouts.
Now,
nobody.
I tell you what.
You don't like it. You don't enjoy it. You're lying to yourself. I don't know why. Some weird Svengali's gotten in your head that Brussels sprouts are good. They're not.
They've changed over the years, John, is what I've been told.
You don't eat them either. Don't get all lofty
but
on me.
I did go when I went to Nashville this past year. We had some high-end Brussels sprouts. I don't know. We were at some fancy restaurant, and they made them, and they weren't bad. But I wouldn't make them at home. You're right. I don't know. People talk about Brussels sprouts all the time, but
my wife, for some reason, came home with a pack of. She likes these sparkling waters like LaCroix. You ever see these things?
Yes, I drink those all the time.
Right. Well, she likes the lime ones, the lemon ones. I mean, they're good. They're fine. They're sparkling water. Then she brings home coconut flavor. No.
Coconut water?
Yes. No.
I've never actually had coconut water either.
It's like you ever have a dog that is gagging on something? That's the noise you make when you drink coconut water.
All right,
no, thank you.
You're not gonna like this next one.
Yeah.
Okay, so on this Reddit list, it says, I am convinced that the vast majority of the wine industry is a huge con built on the basis that people
just want to look cool.
Who want to look cool by drinking wine.
Obviously. But there is some really good wine out there. But is there more salesmanship in the wine industry? Wine and beer. So here's the thing. So it's kind of like with marketing and with beer, right?
Yeah.
So you got Busch. That's the cowboy beer, right?
Okay.
And then you got, Budweiser. That's the blue collar guy beer.
Okay.
And then,
all the
but essentially it's the same product. It's beer. But they market it differently, right? So it's
the IPAs are definitely differently.
That's different, but what I'm saying is like it's all the same product. That's the same thing with wine. It's all the same product. There's good wine, there's bad wine, but they market it to specific groups of people. All right, I got one more. It's going to make Nancy upset.
What's that?
Because you love this and you're fooling yourself for actually liking it.
What?
You're lying to yourself, and so is everybody else who buys it. People don't actually like White Claw. They're just doing it because it's hip, or because because you've run out of absolutely everything else to drink. That's the only reason you drink White Claw.
I'll tell you why I drink it. Because it's usually by the pool, and I can't drink white wine by the pool because I'll get too drunk.
Try a plastic cup.
No, the White Claws, the seltzer, the hard seltzers don't have as much alcohol in them, and so that it's a little bit refreshing. You can drink it by the pool because I only drink those by the pool.
Shouldn't lie to yourself like this.
I'm telling you, if I drank wine, though, it'd be a bad story.
Oh, I'll bet. Anyway, if you're drinking White Claw right now while listening to the podcast,
cheers.
You're living a lie and you need to stop. But if you keep listening,
we'll keep talking.
But not drinking White Claw. See you next time.
Bye.